From a bulletproof speech, to a cane beatdown, to being saved by a hat. These are the US presidents that survived assassination attempts. Shh! Undercover Juan reporting in. Today we're diving into one of the strangest threats in American history. The presidents who almost got smoked, but somehow survived. 9 close calls, 9 moments where history held its breath. And trust me, some of these sound like a rejected Netflix script. By the way, drop a sombrero emoji in the comments if you think luck is stronger than the Secret Service. Let's roll! Let's start way back in 1835. Andrew Jackson, America's spicy grandpa. He's strutting around like he owns the place, when suddenly a guy jumps out with a pistol. Click! Misfire. The guy panics, pulls out a second gun. Click again. Another gem. Both fail. Bro, what are the odds? That's like your Wi-Fi and your backup hotspot dying at the same time. And Jackson? He doesn't run. He doesn't hide. He pulls out his cane and just beats the guy like he's tenderizing carne asada. No Secret Service, no backup, just pure abuelito fury. They had to pull Jackson off him before he turned that attacker into pozole. Wild, right? But here's where it gets even crazier. Jackson survived thanks to failed pistols. The very next president we're talking about, he got saved by fashion. Fast forward a few decades. Abraham Lincoln is out riding one night when boom, a shot rings out. Bullet whizzes past him and blasts through his iconic top hat. Left a hole clean through it. Sometimes style saves your life. But think about it. Lincoln was 6'4" with a hat the size of a mini fridge. How do you miss that? That shooter needed glasses, bro. And Lincoln just shrugged it off. But had that bullet been a few inches lower, history would change before the Civil War even began. Imagine the US without Lincoln's leadership during those years. So yeah, a hat saved Lincoln. And speaking of unlikely lifesavers, another president's best defense wasn't a hat, but something even stranger. His speech notes. Now we're in 1912. Teddy Roosevelt is campaigning. Suddenly, he gets shot in the chest. But the bullet first slams into his folded speech and glasses case in his pocket. Slows it down just enough. And Teddy? He takes the hit, looks at the crowd, and says, "It takes more than that to kill a bull moose." Then he gives a 90-minute speech with a bullet in his chest. Meanwhile, I complain if Netflix buffers for 2 seconds. Doctors later said if the bullet had gone a little deeper, it could have collapsed his lung. Instead, he turned into a legend. If Teddy had been Mexican, he slapped a tortilla on the wound, taken a shot of tequila, and kept talking. Epic. But not all presidents get their dramatic moment on stage. One of them almost didn't even make it to the White House before someone tried to take him out. Miami, 1933. Franklin D. Roosevelt is giving a speech before becoming president. A shooter opens fire. 5 shots. He misses FDR completely, but fatally wounds the mayor of Chicago standing nearby. Talk about wrong place at the wrong time. That one miss completely changed history. If ADR had been killed that night, there's no New Deal. No FDR during World War II. America's path could have been totally different. Bad aim saved Roosevelt. And speaking of near misses, the next president was saved not by luck, not by fashion, but by a set of window blinds. Harry Truman was staying at Blair House because the White House was under renovation. 2 Puerto Rican nationalists show up, guns blazing. A huge shootout breaks out right in the front steps. Secret Service agents are fired, and one officer gets killed. And Truman? He's inside, sipping coffee, peeking through the blinds like he's watching free cable TV. At first, He even thought it was fireworks. Bro, if that had been in Mexico, Truman would have hit the floor faster than when your mom yells, La chancla! But while Truman survived one chaotic shootout, another president would have to deal with 2 attempts in the same month. 1975 was not Gerald's 4th year. In California, a woman pulls a pistol on him. Gun jams. Secret Service tackles her. Just 17 days later, in San Francisco, another woman pulls out a gun. This time she fires, but a bystander grabs her arm mid-shot. The bullet goes wide. 2 assassination attempts. Same president. Same month. Both women. Ladies weren't voting for him, but they sure were aiming at him. Fun fact, one of the women, Lynette Squeaky Frum, was actually part of Charles Manson's cult. Yep, Ford was dodging cult members. Sounds crazy, right? But nothing compares to the guy who tried to impress a Hollywood actress by shooting a president. 1981, Ronald Reagan steps out of a hotel in Washington. John Hinckley Jr. fires 6 shots. One hits Reagan, nearly killing him. And why? Because Hinckley was obsessed with actress Judy Foster and thought shooting the president would impress her. A Hollywood crush almost killed the president. Look, Latinos handle heartbreak with tequila, cumbias, and sad rancheras. We don't go full GTA just to get noticed. Reagan was lucky. Doctors said the bullet stopped just an inch from his heart. Any closer, and it was over. So Reagan survived bullets. The next president? He survived flying shoes. Baghdad, 2008. George W. Bush is giving a press conference when a journalist suddenly hurls not one, but both of his shoes at him. Bush ducks like Muhammad Ali. Whoosh! Whoosh! Perfect dodge. He even joked afterward. All I can say is it was a size 10. Honestly, he dodged those shoes better than I dodged my tias at a family party when they ask, ¿Y la novia? But while Bush turned shoes into comedy gold, the next story was no joke. It was deadly serious. The kind of moment that froze an entire country. July 2024. Pennsylvania rally. Donald Trump is speaking when a shooter opens fire. A bullet grazes his ear. He goes down. Secret Service piles on top of him. 1 inch different, and history changed forever. Love him or hate him, that moment showed how thin is the line between survival and tragedy.
Nobody know more about Band-Aids than I do. Now I have a Band-Aid. It's the most beautiful Band-Aid.
Politics aside, bullets don't care. Sometimes the only thing standing between life and death is luck. So there you have it. From a cane beatdown to a hat that caught a bullet to a speech strong enough to stop one. 9 presidents. 9 crazy close calls. Some survive with style. Some with dumb luck. And one even finished a speech with a bullet still inside him. If you made it this far undercover with me, drop a tequila emoji in the comments for Teddy's tequila power speech. And remember, as my grandma always said, if you can dodge a chancla, you can dodge anything. Stay safe, stay undercover. One out.